While lawmakers meet in Washington, New Mexico lawmakers are in their second week of the 2009 legislative session here in Santa Fe. They're locked in debate over the state's economy and tons of other questions being posed in hundreds of draft bills introduced so far. One of those bills is Senate Bill 12. It's a domestic partnership proposal that would provide same-sex couples with many of the rights and privileges today are available only to married heterosexual couples. As KSFR's Dan Garrity reports, this is not the first time such a proposal has come up.
Similar legislation from last year's session was tabled with no action taken. It remains to be seen if it can make any headway toward passage this year. And another Senate bill, the Contractual Common Household Act, seeks to circumvent issues of marriage equality by establishing a legal arrangement between any two persons sharing a residence who claim a vested interest in each other's welfare. Santa Fean Darren Dunbar is a self-described activist with the city's gay and lesbian community, sometimes appearing as his humorous alter ego, Wenda Watch. He's encouraging concerned citizens to attend today's event at the Roundhouse and says equality is not a gay-straight issue, but rather one of seeing people as Americans first.
It's surprisingly irrelevant that I'm a gay man during this. It's what's relevant to me as an American, which I think President Obama is asking us to look at ourselves as rather than all these individual boxes we've been put in by the past administration. As an American, I just feel that not allowing gay people to have domestic partnership or a civil union of some type is un-American. It's not American that we say okay, you're yellow and you get to do this, you're purple and you don't get to do this. The important thing that we all have to do is get the words gay, religion, God, sin, all these kind of words out of the equation because of the separation of church and state, and look at what's happening. And what's happening is there's a group of people that are allowed one privilege and another group that legally are not allowed that same privilege, and that's un-American.
Dunbar says that advocacy groups having a stake in the issue plan to be in attendance.
You know, Equality New Mexico, which is at eqnm.org, has worked really hard with this, and I know that they also have lobbyists working for them on this, and they will be coming down and attending. They're housed out of Albuquerque, and they'll be attending. And then, of course, I'm co-chair with HRA Pride on the Plaza with Donia Hatch, and that's the Human Rights Alliance. And we are encouraging everybody to fill the house as well today, too. We're just encouraging everybody to go out and really fill up the Roundhouse today and let our senators know where we stand on this, because New Mexico is such a progressive state.
As for the proposed alternative legislation, Dunbar is skeptical of the motivation behind it, as it deliberately seeks to avoid any reference to the terms marriage and spouse, and says it basically provides a cheaper means of contract making that can presently be performed by an attorney.
What you're talking about here, this contract could be entered in, like you were saying, between like a grandmother and a granddaughter, which sounds more like a living will to me, or something a lawyer could do, rather than somebody that is wants that statement that this is my partner, my life partner, my soulmate, and who I'm married to. Because some of these people that are out here fighting that I've met along the way, they've been together for 35, 40, 45 years. They're really going to want to say they have this civil union as wives, as husbands, as partners, as life partners, and not just a contract that says, if this one goes to the hospital, I get to go see him. I think any lawyer could draw something like that up. So, I don't think it's not viable. I think it's not even a bone. It's a tiny little scrap that just placates, that they feel might placate the issue, and it's not enough. It's just not. It's going to have to be equal across the board because we're Americans. And like our president is asking us, we have to think of ourselves Americans first, and then of all of our individual minorities second. And to do that, we all have to be on the same level playing field. And that means that civil unions for everybody.
For KSFR News, this is Dan Garrity.